Hey, how are you? So I'm over on Facebook, right? I'm going through looking at some stuff, and I see this wrong terminology used, and it's real simple. A lot of people just don't understand, so let's add some clarity to this. I'm going to take you to the screen here and explain what the heck I'm talking about. Here's the screen. There's what I see. Okay, I just did a search to pull them up. Uh, is this an error? Is this an error? What is this error? Right, here you go. Is this an error or an off-center strike? Well, that's actually not a bad question right in there. Is this an error? What kind of error is this? I get these questions all the time. Honestly, is this an error? We can actually look at one of these just to see. Okay, is this an error? Error? You see an error here? Okay. There are terms that are specific to the hobby, right? Error, variety. These would be some of the most important terms to straighten out. So I've got some, where are you here? Images? That's not, here it is. Okay, we got some terms put out here for you. And I always tell people, start with the assumption of damage. And you're going to get a good idea why here in just a minute. You find something on a coin, you can probably call it an anomaly, right? It's something out of place, something different, something you're not expecting. It's different from a normal coin. And until you categorize it further, that's all you can really call it. And the four biggest categories that you would find would be error, variety, damage, and other, right? And seriously, error and variety, these are different terms describing different things. They're not interchangeable terms. But a lot of people, they come up with a coin, they say, hey, they see something strange. What error is this? That's the wrong term. What is this anomaly would be a better term. Now let's go through and talk about this. And an error coin, something happened during production. Something went wrong in the making of the coin. That would be an error. It could be a planchet error. It could be a strike error. It could be a problem with the collar. It could be a clipped planchet, a composition error. Let's say it's supposed to be on a steel planchet and ended up on a bronze planchet. That sort of thing. Is an elimination error, a brockage, a cap die, multi-strike, which is different from a doubled die. Could be double struck. It's a different issue altogether. Could be struck through, could be a clash, right? A variety, different from an error. A variety is a change in the die, right? It's a change in the design on the die. It could be a die variety, could be a design variety. So a double die would be a die variety. An RPM would be a die variety. That die that made the coin was made perfectly correctly. Nothing, no problems in the making of the coin, but the die was different from normal. Could be a cud, a chip, a crack. These are intentional or unintentional changes to the design on the coin, makes it a variety, right? Could be a wham, a design variety, a wide AM. I saw one fellow asking, is this a wham error? Oh gosh, that's like going into the electronics store, right? And you're looking at Xboxes, and the salesman comes up and you say, yeah, I need a new fax machine. Is this a good one? Okay, could be a composition variety. Well, you got that. You got brass cents and you got zinc cents in 1982, for example. You got silver nickels and the old copper nickels in 1942. Could be a mint mark style, right? You got a large and a small mint mark on some of these dates. Could be a clash. Wait a minute. How come clash is over here and over here? All right. You got some play in here. A clash, well, it's an unintentional change to the die, right? So it would be effectively a die variety, but it's a production error. While making a coin, there was no planchet in between the two dies, and they clashed together. So, is that an error or variety? It can be, one or the other. It can be both. Depends on how you want to look at it. Excuse me. Now, I always tell people to start with the assumption of damage, right? You see something weird, you figure it's probably going to be damage, right? Maybe it's a variety, maybe it's an error. Might be something else altogether. But what sort of damage? Scratches, contact marks, digs, pits, scrapes, dings, gouges. Maybe it's bent in half. It's somehow disfigured. Could be roller marks. Machine doubling is a common form of damage, right? Could be polished, right? Cleaned up or something. Could be a counter stamp on that coin. Really, these lists can go on pretty substantially. These are just a sampling of what can be an error or what can be a variety. But I see people, they pick up a coin, they say, hey, they see something weird. What error is it? No, no, it's not even an error, baby. That's a ding is all it is. Then you got these weird things, right? Well, how about toning on a coin? That's not an error. It's not a variety. It's not even damage. It's well, a natural discoloration that takes place on some of these coins, particularly copper. How about a fake coin? That's not damage. It's not a variety. It's fake. How about plated? Well, that would fit under damage. There's still some gray area here, right? Perhaps the coin was treated. It was dipped. It was soaked. It was dropped in acid. Maybe there's just doo-doo or something on the coin, right? You see that one where it's some glue was on the coin, right? Maybe they stuck the coin to a card that was being mailed out, and the glue stayed on the coin and picked up another imprint from another coin later on. And they say, is this doubling? No, it's just doo-doo on your coin. Okay, let's put these in some type of visual so we can see what are the chances that it's an error or variety or damage or other. Okay, so I got another image here. Let me see if I can pull this one up. This would be hard because I really suck at this. What's that one? Here we go. Here's a pie chart of all the weird stuff, all the anomalies. In the green, that's damage, right? And I had to magnify these. I had to blow this up. These aren't really in the correct ratios. If they were to be in the correct ratios, it would look more like a line. Where's the line? Nope, that's not it. How about that one? Nope, wait for it. That one. There you go. So most of your coins are going to be just damage. And then you have one in, 1 in 1,000 or however many. This very tiny percentage, this very small amount, that's something different, right? And that's going to be, let's see, that's going to be damage. Okay, it's green. Could be variety, error, or other. And that's this little bit. So if you make the assumption that it's damage, you're going to be right almost every time. If you want to call it a variety or an error, you have to come up with an explanation of what that is. You have to categorize that thing. And if I can make this work right, there we go. So is it a change in the design? Is it an error in the production of the coin? It's probably damage. Is it something else? And those are your 4 biggest categories. And well, just coming up with the question of what error is this means you skipped everything else. Oh, it's a pet peeve of mine. I see it all the time. People say, what error is this? Is this an error? Did you do your homework and actually look at what's going on and try to define it further? There is a science, a rationale behind how these things are categorized and explained. And if you just start at the beginning, right, it's an anomaly. Then what kind of anomaly? Is it damage? Most likely it is. 99 out of 100 and then some, it's going to be damage. Is it a change in the design, right? Or is there something different about the design that you're looking at? A chip, a crack, a cud, a missing mint mark. Maybe the mint mark style is different. Okay, that would be variety. Well, just pay attention, learn a little bit more each day, and you'll get it figured out. But I'm going to leave you with that big image because I think it's pertinent here. What's on this coin? Okay, until you can classify it, it's an anomaly. Then start with the assumption of damage, because most coins that I see, it's people showing off a damaged coin. They just don't know what it is. Okay, guys, that's all for now. Thanks a lot.